Today is one of those days where anxiety and fear is showing up more than usual. And I'm not going to lie, it eats at you and it eats at you and it eats at you and it gets in your head and it makes you confused on what's true and what's not true. And I've realized that, like, in these moments, I just have to take a second and just exist. Like, literally just exist and just go with the flow of the emotions, go with the flow of my thoughts, go with the flow of really knowing that these thoughts I'm thinking, the control that I somehow feel like I can have in this situation is not here. I compare it to almost being in the ocean. When you're in the ocean and the ocean has its current, the ocean has its way of pushing you around. You just have to let it push you around, and the harder that you fight against the current is the more tired you're going to get, the more probability of you drowning, and you just have to go with the current and figure out a way to swim with the current and get out of the situation that you're in, because at the end of the day, the harder you fight, the more you attach to the outcome of the things that you want to go your way, the more you push it away from you, and over the thoughts that I've had and the emotions that I've been feeling over the past couple hours, I've had to just come back to earth, and in a way you're out of earth, you're out of reality, to the point of you're building up all these assumptions, you're building up all this fear about events that have not happened, times that you haven't lived yet, and you have to sometimes come back to, I say, earth, because everything that you're fearing, everything that you're worrying about has not happened. You're in a whole nother day, you're in a whole nother universe that does not exist yet. So come back to earth. Come back to earth about the fears that you have, the emotions that you're feeling, the time in which you're wasting in these thoughts and in these fears, because you're living in today. Whatever the date is today, whatever the time is right now, that's the time that you're in. And you're focusing on a whole other reality that is completely and utterly not real. And the harder you focus on a reality that isn't real is the more it becomes real, and I like to think, and I like to think of the worst possible outcomes. But when I realize that those outcomes aren't real and that I'm somewhat forcing life to go the way that I want it to go, even though I don't have control, I'm not letting the universe do its job. I'm not letting God have his will, because God's will is better than any will that I can ever imagine, any will that I could ever draw up, any person that I could ever draw up being. He has a plan. He has a plan in my life. He has a place that he's trying to bring me. He has lessons that I need to learn. And in these lessons, it's going to grow me to be the person that I want to be, give me a life past my wildest dreams. And I think in these times as well, like, man, when has God ever failed me? When has he ever drawn me and put me into a place that I truly and utterly did not want to be in, or I did not need to be in? Right now, I'm in mountains of fear, mountains of uncomfort, but in one way or another, I feel as though this is exactly where in which I need to be, because your back has to be against the wall to want to change. Some people never change. Some people never see that they're wrong, see that there's another life to live, and the thing that I love about my life is that it has to get torn down. I have to feel the pain to want to change. And I feel as though God knows this and is pointing me in the direction of feeling whatever pain that I'm feeling to go and live out whatever it is that I have to live out, and put faith into somebody, put faith into something, put faith into him, to realize that the fears I have are not real. And I keep saying the fears that I have aren't real, but they're truly not, man. Like, they're not. And the problems that I have today are luxury problems, and I try to put it in perspective, and I try to show myself and tell myself, man, what you're going through today with the things that you're stressing over and worrying about are blessings to worrying about. Stresses and things that some people dream to worry about or dream to have the problem of. Today I have everything I ever could imagine. Today I have everything I ever could need. And in the moments where I'm not being grateful to realize that I have everything that I need and there's nothing more than I do need, and that um, the perfect life that I'm dreaming of, the perfect life that I'm lusting for, that I somehow convince myself in the fears that I don't have, I am I don't even know what I'm doing when I'm doing that, because there's no point, it does nothing for me. And what does do something for me is understanding that I have to let life flow. I have to let life go. I have to let everything just happen, because I have to simply just be. Being is the only thing you can be that is the best thing for you to be, because there's no other moment, there's no other time, there's no other second that you're living in other than the second that you're in right now. And you worrying and you stressing about a life that you've not yet lived, or a day that you've not yet lived, or a trip that you've not yet done, you're wasting the beautiful, precious time that this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life has for you. And time is precious, bro. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of moments in this life. And the moment that you have right now could definitely be your last. And that's something that I have to take into account and have to continue to think and believe, man, that I've came farther than I ever come. This is the best day of my life, because simply it truly is. It's one of my last days if I treat it as such. And you know, uh I like to always remember that, bro. I'm living a life past my wildest dreams, bro. Uh, 4 or 5 years ago, if you told me that I'd have the problems that I have, if you told me I am the person that I am today, I would not believe you, bro. I would be like, no way. And things have come together past my imagination, and that's all from just letting go and just letting God do His work, because the miracle is around the corner, bro. The miracle is gonna happen. Like, you have to just wait. Even in my sobriety journey, some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know, bro. I'm 4 years sober, 3.5, 4 years sober, and through this time, bro, I had times where I was like, bro, I'm just gonna go fucking and go drink and do drugs, bro. And some greater than me got me past those nights, that got me past those days, and got me past the things that I couldn't comprehend handling. And man, I waited on the miracle, bro. I waited on the miracle. I waited on the time. I waited on my time to be this person that I am today, bro. And it took patience, and it took me believing that a miracle will happen. And a miracle is always waiting to happen. And a miracle will happen if you just let life be the way it's supposed to be. You just live in the moments that you're living in, and not stress, not worry about a life or a day you're not in, bro. Because you're in this moment, live this moment, and dream in this moment of the fact that you're living a life that is enough, bro. There's nothing more than the life that you have right now. You have to always remember this, man. And I have to always remember this. I'm talking to myself when I make these videos, because I forget, bro. I have a built-in forgetter in my mind that tells me that the world is going to end if I don't get what I want, or I don't achieve the things, or do this in this amount of time, or this, that, and this. And truthfully, that's not the truth. And your brain will lie to you, and I lie to myself all the fucking time. So, yeah, this is something I really needed to say, something I really need. These videos have changed my life and saved my life in so many different ways, and I'm so thankful to be able to make these videos. And I just ask you to like, comment, subscribe if you feel what I'm saying, because I know I'm not alone in this journey. And I sometimes have to just get on here and vent and just talk about the things that I'm facing, or the things that I'm overcoming, because it's a miracle, bro. It's a miracle to be alive, and I'm blessed to be alive today. And maybe this makes sense, maybe this doesn't make sense, but I needed to say it. I needed to say it to someone. I needed to say it to something. I needed to speak it out loud. And I'm grateful to be able to do this. So thanks for letting me share. And like, comment, subscribe if you feel me, dog.